Well, it is a beautiful morning out here in Angeles Crest National Forest. It's the place I love to come and drive around, take photos. One of the coolest places I think that's close in proximity to Los Angeles. And I especially love coming out here in the mornings. It's so peaceful, the birds are chirping. It's very fun to come shoot out here in the morning actually. Brought my camera along, but I mainly wanted to make a video today showing you guys a little bit of my updated 4Runner setup. It's been a while since I've shown any updates that I've done to the rig. For those of you who don't know, I bought this setup in 2021, so just about 3 years ago, and I've put already about 88,000 miles on it so far, so quite a bit of driving in those 3 years, but it's been amazing. Like, honestly, I have not had a single issue with this car, and it goes to show that Toyotas are just extremely reliable cars. But I have done quite a few upgrades. We are heading out on a pretty big road trip here, actually starting tomorrow. And I wanted to take a minute to show you guys everything that's going on and all the different upgrades that we've done. But pretty excited what I have, and also just, chat a little bit about the 4Runner in general and how that experience has been. So starting things off, this is the actual truck itself. This is the Toyota 4Runner SR5 Premium 2021. I don't have the TRD version or anything like that. This was all I really wanted, and it's treated me very, very well over the years. I absolutely love this thing. Haven't had a single problem in almost 90,000 miles, as I mentioned earlier. And I think a lot of that is due to just Toyota being extremely reliable. So this car is perfect for what I need it for. And eventually I'd love something a little bit bigger like a Tundra, but for now, this thing works great. Up top, I think I explained in my last video, I have a GFC rooftop tent. This is the version 2. So this thing is pretty incredible. I've spent probably over 100 nights in it so far and haven't had a single issue with it either. Very well made in Montana, super easy to set up. You just pull these latches out like this, and then you usually give it a big push. And there we go. So I sleep up in this thing quite a bit when I'm between jobs or out camping. It's great. It's really comfy, fits 2 people nicely. You can put extra stuff up there as well. Nice and spacious. So up top in here I have a storage panel by Vernacular. Really like this panel. I think it's a Bay Area company, but it's handmade, so it's beautiful. And I can fit everything from phone, keys, wallet, survival knife, matches, really anything you need. And it all fits nice and up there, nice and tidy. And then this is the actual sleeping area. I really love this mattress that comes with the GFC. A lot of people have complained that it's not very comfortable, but honestly for me, I've found it to be extremely comfortable and nice to use. Something about the GFC as well, I think, is how well they're built. There's a lot of rooftop tents out there on the market, and there's a pretty vast price difference between all of the different tents. And something like the GFC is definitely on the pricier end of things. But I think if you camp a lot and you want to have this tent for a long time, I can't recommend this one enough. They're definitely like above, kind of in that $3,000 to $5,000 range, depending on what you actually get. I've found it to be really worth my time, but I also camp a ton. So if you're not camping more than a couple times a month or doing like a really long trip every year, I might suggest getting something a little bit more simple and less expensive. But overall, this tent for me has been amazing, and it's been really reliable. Something else that's really nice about GFC is everything's made in America. So everything is made at their shop in Montana. It's really easy to get spare parts if you need. All the screws you can find at Home Depot, so if you need to adjust anything. And their customer service is great as well. What I love about this tent, which I'm going to show you in a second, is how customizable it is to what you need to mount onto it and all the different accessories that you can put on. I feel like that's really what kind of makes this tent stand out versus the rest, is the ability to just kind of stack stuff on here and use it as a roof rack as well. So right here I have a awning. This is the ARB awning. Nothing too exciting, to be honest. I'd love something a little bit more robust. But this thing is great in a pinch, especially when it's raining or it's really hot, be able to deploy it. Have it right here, it's nice and comfy, and then you can kind of sit under it and get out of the sun a little bit, or if it's raining, again, like you can stay nice and dry, cook a meal. But I think where the GFC really shines is the beef bars up top. So this is kind of a roof rack style. As you can see, I have a Thule box up here. This is a pretty large one as well. And GFC, I think, rates the actual storage with the tent open to about 200 pounds with everything. With my trip coming up tomorrow, I'm definitely pushing that quite a bit. So I'm gonna probably have to take a few things out. But the cool thing is if you really want to, you can also upgrade these gas struts. So if you need to have more weight on top, like a surfboard or bikes or whatever, you can just buy heavier duty gas struts and you'll be all set with that. But I think this is really the cool part about the GFC for me and anyone else that uses them, is the ability to mount a lot of different things. You can put solar panels up there, surfboards, bikes, really anything that makes sense. I found the cargo box to be the most helpful for me. The 4Runner isn't massive on the inside, so anything that I don't want to put inside that might be dirty or whatnot, I can put that up top, keep it nice and clean, and that's worked really well for me. Now this awning is also mounted with a GFC awning kit, so as you can see over here, very easy to mount, which is great. You can mount really anything on the sides as well. You can even mount like a portable shower, water, really anything, an axe. I really like having the awning on the side, just so I can deploy it really easily. And then closing the tent is literally just as simple as it was to open. All you have to do is kind of grab a little bit of the side right here, pull it down, make sure it's all stuffed inside. And once you got to shove everything in from the side, you're good to go. Very nice and easy. All right, so here is the drawer system. So I bought this off Craigslist. There's a lot of really great, lightly used or moderately used camping gear on Craigslist, Facebook, OfferUp. I highly recommend checking that out. It's also where I got this fridge. I didn't feel the need to buy a new one, so I found one that was just kind of gently used. But all this together was only about, with the drawer system and the fridge, maybe about $1,500. And brand new, that'd be several thousand more dollars. So I thought it was a pretty good deal. But essentially, I really wanted to have a fridge for longer term trips. So here is the Dometic CFX 75. This is a dual zone fridge. So you can do fridge and freezer. For those longer trips, it's really nice to be able to freeze meat and have everything in the freezer, so you can kind of just stay on the road and not have to constantly go to grocery stores and you don't have to worry about ice, anything like that. Everything is accessible with these latches. So press down like this, and the fridge actually comes out on a fridge slide. So once it goes down like this, you're able to really easily reach everything. And you can grab inside and get whatever you need. Again, it's fridge and freezer, so I'll keep the front side probably for fridge and the smaller area for freezer. But again, just a little bit of how that looks when it's out like this. Really nice and easy to get to. So far, the fridge has been awesome. I haven't taken it on any very long trips, so I'm really excited to see how that works and how it all plays out. But the app on your phone works great. It's easy to charge. I have a Anker battery here, which is great. Comes out also on this slide as well. So this is the Anker's Solix 1000-watt battery. Also just picked this guy up, not sponsored or anything. I just like the product. I also have some solar panels that are gonna go with this as well. But this is what's gonna be powering my fridge, my laptop, really anything that I need. There's a few things that maybe choose Anker over the competition. To be honest, the charging capacity is really exciting. How fast you can charge this thing is amazing. Plug it into the wall, 58 minutes, and it's fully charged. Anker's battery technology is really exciting. So quite pumped to bring this along with the solar panels that should keep the fridge and everything else that I have charged very easily. Honestly, it's probably a little bit overkill if anything. But I wanted to have enough, and I also wanted to be able to bring this on jobs and productions, so I think this will work really well for that. Now, as you can see here, I have several different slides. This one up top is just kind of an auxiliary one. I'm just gonna throw paper towels and cleaning supplies, stuff like that. And then once you are done with the fridge, you can easily slide that back up and lock it into place. Now, below is where I keep all my kind of camp kitchen stuff. So here's one of the drawers. And then the larger drawer. Now, these are awesome. I feel like I can fit pretty much everything I need to cook a nice meal in here. And to keep everything organized, I've got sheet trays, I've got a nice grill, I've got titanium cups, cookware, fire starters, really anything that you need to kind of get the job done. Also, I love having some sort of instant ramen with me, just so I can always make a meal if I need to. Over here is kind of like my spices and oils. Just got, olive oil, avocado oil, all my different fire starters and fuel. All fits nicely over here. And it closes just as simply as it opens. Now, the drawer system has been awesome so far. I was actually camping about a week ago, and I had a free night before I started a job. So I pulled over on the side of the road, camped, made myself a meal, and being able to have everything in those drawers and just permanently in the rig helps a lot. Especially, we use this car mainly for camping, so I think it makes a lot of sense to have everything ready to go and just ready to use. But the drawer system in tandem with the roof tent has been awesome, and I'm really excited to see how the fridge performs as well. Basically, the whole idea with this kit was to keep the car fairly minimal on the outside, but I wanted to, have everything that I needed to make sure that I could camp well, really enjoy myself, and not have to worry too much if I packed everything, because packing for camping constantly just gets really annoying. Now, in addition to all of this, I obviously have some camping gear as well that is going to be, additional, and it really kind of varies trip by trip. But I'll probably do another video when I'm out camping in Colorado over the next few weeks. We're doing a pretty cool road trip from Portland to Idaho to Colorado, and probably hit Jackson Hole, Wyoming as well, which should be pretty beautiful. But I'll maybe do a video and just explaining some of the camp gear that I bring along. I have a lot of really cool Japanese snow peak camping gear, and also some cool cookware and stuff like that that I feel like kind of just in tandem with the truck makes camping really enjoyable and nice, especially on the longer trips. I love doing trips that are, not just a night. I love doing a week, 2 weeks, and this trip we're going to be able to do 2, if not 3 weeks on the road. So quite excited for that. I'm definitely going to be bringing you guys along and shooting some photos as well. It's going to be a beautiful trip, and I can't wait to share with you guys what we get into. So as I mentioned, the 4Runner has been really great to me over the years. I've had it for 3 years, put a ton of miles on it, and really all I've had to do is change the oil and the brakes. I think that's kind of characteristic of most Toyotas. I'm just a big Toyota guy. They're super reliable. I really put them through the ringer, especially when it comes to driving around. I drive quite a bit, so I really want the car to be able to kind of hold up to that. And the 4Runner has been amazing. I really have no complaints whatsoever. Really, the only thing that I'm thinking is I want a larger truck for bigger trips. I have some bigger road trips planned and some bigger photography excursions that I want to be able to live out of the car a little bit more comfortably and also be gone for longer periods of time. Definitely at the top of that list is Alaska. So I'm hoping to be able to do a trip like that here in the next year or two. But that will require probably a bigger setup. And for that, I'm looking at potentially picking up a Tundra. So I'm going to be looking into that. A full-size truck, I think, just really fits my workflow as a photographer and constantly being on location for shoots, but also really kind of leaning into that camping lifestyle and having a fully built-out truck that's ready to camp at a moment's notice. That's always been something that I want, and it's what I have right now with the 4Runner, but I just want something a little bit bigger at some point. But for this summer and for the rest of the year, this truck's going to be perfect, and it's served me really, really well over the last several years. Now, before this video wraps up, I did want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, which is Squarespace, for sponsoring today's episode. Now, you guys know by now, Squarespace is a longtime supporter of this YouTube channel and my creative endeavors. Truly cannot thank them enough for their continued support. Most simply put, Squarespace is just the easiest way to build any sort of creative website, whether you're looking to display your work, create gallery pages, sell e-commerce products, book appointments. They make it extremely easy to lay all of that out in a beautiful way without really having to know any sort of coding or any of the hassles that typically come with that. I've been using Squarespace since the start of my career, and I can't recommend them enough. You can purchase domains, you can design your website in a way that makes sense for you, and I'd highly recommend going to check them out for any sort of website or domain or portfolio needs. If you guys want to check out Squarespace for yourself, there'll be a link down in the description to receive 10% off your first website or domain purchase. Thank you so much to Squarespace as always for sponsoring this video, and thanks to you guys for watching. I think the next update will probably be on the road, so I'll see you guys then. Until then, take care, and we'll see you in the next one.